te rangi e tu e te papa e tā koto, tu ia ngā tangata katoa, ti hei Māori ora.
Sustainability is about responsibility. We have a responsibility to the resources that we have and how we use them and what we produce out of them. But I think that responsibility extends not just to the environment, but also socially and financially at the end of the day.
Sustainable winemaking, I guess, is it's just I guess for us it's a simple approach. We really want to just taste the flavour from the site and from the soil that we have here.
It's about pono. Pono is about integrity. It's about doing what you say you're going to and being trustworthy, open and honest. And I think the Sustainable SWIN's Sustainable Wine Growing Program has pono. It's why people use it as a benchmark. Whanaungatanga, nurturing people and sustaining our people and making sure that they've got a livelihood, employing local labour where we can, getting on with our neighbours, all part of sustainability.
It's just the full cycle of seeing everything, I think, from starting off with a small grapevine and working your way up. And it's the same with the animals, sort of building that relationship. They're much like children, building that relationship up from such a young age.
It's the ability to stand proudly in front of a room of people, whether they're in New York, London, Helsinki or wherever, and proudly be able to say we're not denuding nature, we actually feel like we're adding something back and making sure that this is something for the future.
You know that old cliche, good stuff in, good stuff out. Well, shit in, shit out.
I suppose the ethos that we live by, or I live by, is around doing the right thing when no one's looking. You know, that's really, really important to me. The fact that we don't do dodgy stuff. We don't, you know, go and bury our rubbish out the back in a big hole or have a fire at night when no one's looking, and that kind of stuff. That's just not what we are or who I am or what the business is about.
It's like leaving some wood in the hut after you've left, making sure that our future generations can carry on doing what we're doing. Not about ripping off the land, it's about putting more back in than you take out. So that's what drives us, and doing it clever and better and using less energy wherever we can.
Well, the end goal is to be very good at what we do and to exceed the best in the world.
We're 53 years old now, so we're a stayed family, totally New Zealand owned, and we want to sort of do that for the next 50 years. So I think sustainability gives everybody that feeling of family, because again, you are doing something properly.
I love working in this winery because it fits my winemaking philosophy perfectly. The winery here is built with a lot of sustainable principles in mind. It's built out of concrete, which has a very good ability to control heat passively, keeps the heat out and the cool in, as does the living roof. It fits in with the environment here.
We farm with nature. A good way of looking at that is what have we got in abundance that nature has given us that we can use without disturbing the surrounding. We developed this wetland that we have, which treats all the wastewater out of the winery. Plants and sunlight are very good at doing that sort of thing.
Part of the sustainability at the winery too is that our cellar where we store the barrels is underground, so we don't need any refrigeration for that. It's a beautiful environment, you got the right humidity, and we've seen in the last 9 years that we've had this cellar that the wine pretty much takes care of itself, which is really nice.
Energy is a very important component of mankind's habitation again on the planet. How do we generate energy? How do we live that? It's a limited resource in most cases. How do we apply renewable resources at a lower cost to afford better economics around our products, but also mitigating things like carbon footprints and so on?
Our family's been on here just over 100 years now. Roughly self-sustaining as a large farm unit. But over the years, this has retracted in size, but those same values and willingness has sort of maintained with regards to trying to keep it as sustainable as possible.
Viability and sustainability are two things that have to go hand in hand. Looking constantly at how we're using the land, whether it is planting our own trees to fire our wood fuel boilers, whether it's what vines we're planting, whether it's using the headland hay, or whether it's quite simply how can we get people on the land.
A lot of aspects of sustainability are so ingrained in our philosophy as winemakers, but also as New Zealanders as well. We're in a pretty special part of the world, and I just think that sustainability as such is just part of our way of life.
The people here sign up to who we are and what we do, and you know what? They create it. They take ownership. They absolutely do.
I believe in a lot of, if you can do your bit, that it'll all add up to make something quite special in the end. And New Zealand has this at its very heart of its people, really. They are environmentally aware. They're not all tree huggers and greenies, but there's also a real sense of pride in this country that I haven't really seen anywhere else. And people want to protect it.